Welcome back, everyone. We all want to feel and look our best during the summer season. Much of that comes from diet and exercise. But which diet is right for you? There are so many out there. Dr. Christopher McGowan is an obesity medicine specialist. He's here to break down some of the latest diet trends. Doc, good morning. Welcome.
Hena, thanks for having me. So much to talk about here.
So much to talk about. So let's dive in. Everyone looking to lose some weight, just feel their best, get fit. Tell us why we should avoid supplements and diet trends like those juice cleanses and that viral Ozempic drink that I learned about a few minutes ago. It's all over TikTok.
Yeah, bad ideas. Well, the fact is that most diets just aren't successful because they're way too gimmicky and way too restrictive. So what we really need to focus on is healthy eating that we can sustain. And a good general rule is that if you're learning about a diet via TikTok, it's probably not very good.
I'm looking at diets to avoid this summer in the graphic. It says keto, carnivore, raw food, which I was going to ask you about next, because this is the season where there's so much produce available. All the farmer markets are open. Why would a raw food diet, not be ideal for people?
Yeah, well, there are many examples of diets that aren't sustainable because they're really just way too restrictive. So a raw food diet takes a foundation of a vegan diet, which is already pretty challenging, and then ups the difficulty level to the impossible by saying that you can't cook the food. Now, this really isn't based in science, and actually heating food allows us to extract certain nutrients. So this one is really difficult, often very expensive, not sustainable. Go ahead and saute your spinach.
Okay, let's turn to those protein-heavy diets. Keto is very popular, the carnivore diet as well. What are your concerns about those two?
So keto remains very popular for a couple of reasons. You are able to lose weight in the beginning, but most of that is water weight. And what we then run into is it's not sustainable because you're eliminating entire food groups. And look, eventually you just want to have some pasta. Now, carnivore takes this to the next level. The carnivore diet is probably the worst of the worst. It takes all of those negative aspects of keto and makes them even worse. And so proponents of this diet will say you can only eat meat. Imagine this: no fruits, no vegetables, no grains. What a terrible idea for your health. Look, we need fruits and vegetables for vitamins, for minerals, for fiber, and also because we're humans and not lions. Terrible idea.
I couldn't stick with keto because I needed a slice of pizza, so I'm with you there. Let's talk about the reality of exercising. Crucial. No matter how strenuous it is, it can't replace healthy eating habits, right? We can't outrun our diet, even if we're running 3 miles a day, but eating a burger.
Yeah, you really can't. The foundation of weight loss is nutrition. It's not exercise. It's what we eat and how much we eat. And now look, exercise is really, really important. It's amazing for our health, for shape, for tone, for longevity. We should all exercise, but hitting the gym without altering your nutrition isn't likely to move the scale.
All right, we discussed bad diets. Let's move to good diets. We've heard about the more popular diets. This is one of my favorites, Mediterranean diet. Tell us about that, as well as the so-called flexitarian diet.
Yeah, so there are definitely good diets. And what you'll see, a common theme is these are just healthy eating. They're not gimmicky. And so flexitarian is a good option. This is a vegetarian diet with flexibility, and that's a good general approach, moderation. So vegetarian can be very healthy, but in this case, you can add in moderation, some meats and fish. That's a good approach to eating, and very similar to a Mediterranean diet, which is based on whole grains, lots of fruits and vegetables, healthy oils, just good eating.
Talk to me about the DASH diet, Doc.
Yeah, so the DASH diet stands for Dietary Approaches to Stop Hypertension. Now, that's a name that's not going to excite anybody, but this is actually a diet that's really based in science. It was developed by researchers at the NIH, and it's clinically proven to improve blood pressure and other health parameters like cholesterol. But it's very similar to a Mediterranean diet and really emphasizes low sodium, low sugar, it's just good, healthy eating.
You also mentioned intermittent fasting. I know a lot of people that do that, they swear by it. Why do you think it's so beneficial?
So intermittent fasting, also really popular, probably rivals keto in terms of popularity. And for some people, this can work. Now, I want to be clear, this is not better than any other diet. It's ultimately just a way to reduce how much you're eating. And the way it works is you're restricting eating to certain hours in a day or days in a week. Now, for some people, that very defined structure can be helpful. And as a general rule, if something works for you, go ahead and do it.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.